Hello, welcome to my channel. My name's Nigel Ivy and I'm an elopement videographer based in Ireland. I specialize in elopements and intimate weddings, and this channel is all about resourcing couples that are planning elopements. So if you're in that process and you're looking for resources on how to plan elopement, where to go, what to do, all that sort of stuff, this is the place for you. So hit that thumbs up and subscribe, and I'm going to be putting out loads of content and giving couples free elopement planning resources to help them on their journey. So in this video, I want to look at a question that I see so often on the internet and Facebook groups, and I get sometimes asked it as well, is should I book an elopement videographer? Is it worth booking an elopement videographer? Here are the 5 reasons why I think you should book an elopement videographer. Number 1 is that your elopement videographer is going to capture moments and a perspective that your elopement photographer won't capture. So there's going to be little bits and pieces, things that the elopement videographer is going to capture that you may not necessarily have in photos. Those little movements, those little gestures, those little bits of emotion, because video is a slightly different medium to photography and you can capture those emotions in a slightly different perspective. Reason number 2 is emotion. Now I've mentioned emotion a little bit already, but what I mean by emotion is you can capture the emotion slightly differently on the day when you integrate dialogue and words. When you use the words that were spoken at your elopement in the video, that's a really strong way of capturing the emotion and really portraying what it felt like on the day. Some of my favorite films that I've ever produced have had strong vows, or where the couple have read letters that they've written to each other, or if they're eloping on their own, where their family have written them letters that they read on the day. I'm a huge fan of dialogue and integrating those spoken words into the film, and I believe that it portrays an emotion that you just can't capture in any other way. So I'm going to put a little card thing up here where you can go and check out a film that I've made. It's one of my favorite elopement films that I've ever made, where the vows were so good and so personal. The celebrant gave such a good ceremony for the couple, and it just wouldn't have been the same film without those spoken words and without those dialogue. And the emotion that it carries because of that is one of the reasons why I think you should book an elopement videographer. Reason number 3 is that you can capture the atmosphere of where you're eloping in a different way to what you do in photographs and stills. So for example, if you in Ireland where it's really atmospheric, moody, often it's dark, windy, rainy, there's often seagulls because it's a small island, you're often near the coast, and there's those sort of noises around it, and when you integrate all of that into the film, it just creates this feeling, and you know, when you close your eyes and you can hear the seagulls and you can hear the waves crashing on the shore of the sea. And if you're somewhere where it's really windy, that wind and the rain and everything, when you integrate all of that sort of atmosphere into the film, creates a really compelling story. And one of my favorite things to do is to capture that sort of audio from the day. The couples sometimes just chatting through the day, if you're hiking or whatever the case is, those little bits and pieces that just add so much flair to the video and just make it that much more awesome. And reason number 4 is probably the most important reason, I think, is that when you think of even a conventional wedding, a big wedding, and an elopement is no different. Often you have very little physical, tangible things that you take away from the day. Usually it's like you may be able to keep your flowers, if you had flowers in some way, dry them out, whatever the case is. You have your rings, obviously, a few other bits and pieces that the papers that you wrote your vows on, that sort of thing. But often so much of the day and so much of the expense of your wedding just goes into things that you don't keep and you can't take with you and you can't take home and that you can't keep for the rest of your life. And so that's why I always encourage couples, spend money on the photographs and the video for your wedding or your elopement, because those are 2 things that will usually last your lifetime. They are usually become family heirlooms that you pass on through generations. If you're eloping, you may not have all your family with you. You may not have your parents and your grandparents with you, and you may want to share the experience with them and show them what it was like and how awesome it was and beautiful, and what your ceremony was like and what you said to each other, the commitments that you made to each other, all of those sort of things. So I want to encourage you, if nothing else, just so that you have it to hold on to pass on to your couples, get an elopement video and book an elopement videographer to capture that for you. And that's one of the reasons why I do it, is because exactly that. I say to my couples is that I don't want to just be there on the day to capture it. For me, two most important things is you have the best day ever, the best experience, and secondly, that this becomes a family heirloom that you're proud of, that you love, that you associate with an awesome experience, the best day of your life, and that you then pass on through the generations and share with your family and people in your life that you care about. And finally, reason number 5, no regrets. This is probably one of the most important days of your life, and so I want to encourage you to go all out, book an elopement videographer, and just capture everything, have the best day ever, and then have a video to look back on it on, to hear your vows, if you spoke and read letters to each other, that sort of thing. You've got all that captured. So I want to encourage you, just go all out, have no regrets. Don't regret in 10 years time, I wish that I had booked that videographer, or I was just umming and ahhing, didn't know whether it was worth it, I wish that I'd done it. Don't have those sort of regrets. So I want to encourage you, go all out and do it. I hope this video has been useful for you. As I said, I'm an elopement videographer, and I also guide couples. I help them to plan their perfect dream elopement here in Ireland. So if you're planning to elope, even if you're not planning to elope in Ireland and you want to chat to me about working with me to plan an elopement, or even if you just have a question and I can help you on your journey to getting your dream elopement plan, then please reach out to me, send me a DM. All the details are in the description down below. Otherwise, all the best with your elopement planning. Keep a lookout for stuff that's coming up on this channel, more resources that are coming, and I'll see you in the next video.